Arc Raiders isn't the kind of game where you can casually look around and admire the scenery, because every corner hides something mechanical that wants you deleted. One minute you're vibing, the next you're getting chased by a skyscraper-sized bastion that makes you question why you even logged in. And don't get me started on those sneaky little ticks that somehow slip through every gap in your armor. If you've ever wondered why this world feels like a scrapyard with anger issues, you're definitely not alone. In today's video, we're breaking down every enemy type you'll run into in Arc Raiders, what makes them dangerous, and exactly how you can outsmart them before they turn you into spare parts. Think of this as your quick and painless survival guide, the kind of cheat sheet that keeps you alive just long enough to say you meant to do that. Let's dive into the lineup of Arc troublemakers and figure out how to stay one step ahead.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
Enjoy these types of lists.
Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
The Arc Surveyor is that big rolling hunk of metal that loves to pretend it is harmless until it suddenly decides to scan you like an airport security machine gone rogue. When the scanning beacon lights up, that is your moment to shine. Its core becomes exposed, and that is where you want to unload everything you have. Heavy ammunition works beautifully here because it strips the armor like it is peeling a tin can. Just make sure you dodge roll frequently, because getting run over by this thing is not a fun time. When you take one down, you are rewarded with a nice range of materials like ARC alloy, ARC power cell, ARC motion core, ARC circuitry, and sometimes more advanced parts. It is basically a walking loot piñata once you understand its pattern. Keep an eye on cover. Whenever it starts rolling aggressively, hit that exposed core fast and you will be fine. The Arc Surveyor looks intimidating, but once you get used to that scan window, it becomes one of the more manageable enemies in the game. The Bastion is the definition of slow but terrifying. It moves like a tank on legs, and honestly, it might as well be one. The trick is to ignore its giant armored front and instead aim for the yellow leg joints or sneak around to hit the rear canister. Once you break those weak points, it stumbles, exposing the big rear barrel. That is your jackpot moment. If you want the fight to end even faster, blaze grenades or snap blast grenades absolutely melt through its defenses. Defeating a Bastion is not just satisfying for the explosion, it also drops a solid collection of materials like mechanical components, medium gun parts, and the valuable Bastion cell. These things soak up damage like nothing else, so patience and precision matter a lot here. Keep your distance, use the environment to stay out of its line of fire, and strike once you disable its joints. The Bastion makes you work for the win, but the loot is worth the effort. The Fireball might be one of the most annoying enemies simply because it rolls at you like it has something to prove. Its front panel opens when it prepares to blast flames, and that is your chance to blow up the unarmored core inside. Thankfully, the Fireball is fragile compared to other machines. Most weapons will tear through it once the core is exposed, so as long as you do not stand still and let it barbecue you, you are good. When it explodes, you can pick up ARC alloy, ARC, power cell, and crude explosives, which can stack up nicely during big fights. Think of the Fireball as a fast-moving target practice dummy with a temper. Hit the core, keep moving, and you will never have trouble with it. The Bombardier is basically an ARC artillery truck on legs, and it is always accompanied by spotter drones that make your life miserable. Those spotters call out your location, so eliminating them first is the smartest play. Once they are gone, focus on the Bombardier's yellow kneecaps to slow it down. After you crack those, the rear cylinder becomes vulnerable, and destroying that will shut the machine down quickly. Bombardiers drop a mix of rare materials, including ARC performance steel, medium gun parts, and the Bombardier cell. If you attack right after it fires a mortar, you get a few free seconds while it reloads, which makes the fight much easier. The key is controlling the battlefield. Kill the spotters, dodge the shells, and hit that rear cylinder when exposed. The Hornet is a flying stun drone that behaves like a mosquito with electricity. It swoops in fast, fires its stun weapon, and darts away again. The best way to bring it down is to shoot the front thrusters with heavy ammunition or the rear ones with anything else. If it falls from a height, that alone destroys it. That means once you knock out a thruster, gravity does the rest for you. It drops simple supplies like ARC alloy and medium ammunition, so it is more of an annoyance than a real threat. The trick is to fire, dodge, and keep moving to avoid its stun bursts. Cover helps a lot, especially if multiple Hornets swarm you. Take them out quickly to avoid being locked down mid-fight. The Leaper is what happens when an animal decides it wants to jump scare you professionally. It charges around and launches itself into big shockwave attacks, which you definitely want to avoid. Rolling sideways during its jumps usually keeps you safe. After a leap, the leaper has a small recovery window where it stands still, and that is your perfect moment to unload damage. It does not have specific armored weak points, but it hits hard if you get sloppy. Its drops include ARC Performance Steel, Explosive Compound, and other valuable crafting parts. The fight becomes much easier if you stay patient, avoid its shockwaves, and counterattack right after it lands. Treat it like a hit-and-run brawler, because that is exactly what it is. Pop enemies are tiny rolling bombs that chase you with one purpose: explode in your face. They are extremely weak, but also extremely deadly if ignored. The best way to deal with them is to shoot them immediately or vault over terrain to force some distance. Dodge rolling backward also works if one sneaks up behind you. Their drops include crude explosives and ARC thermalining, which can be useful, but pop machines are more about survival than loot. As long as you stay alert and never turn your back during big fights, these little explosives will never ruin your run. The Queen is a massive boss encounter that feels like you suddenly walked into a raid without signing up for it. She throws everything at you: mortars, laser attacks, sweeping beams, and EMP blasts. You need your team working together, staying spread out, and calling out attack patterns. When the Queen exposes weak spots, everyone needs to focus fire immediately before she resets. The loot table is huge, offering everything from ARC Performance Steel to magnetic accelerators and the valuable Queen Reactor. This is a fight that rewards teamwork more than raw firepower. Use cover, watch your positioning, and never cluster together when she winds up for her heavy attacks. The Rocketeer is a massive flying artillery unit that rains missiles from above. It is extremely dangerous if left alone, but it has one big weakness. Its thrusters shoot those, and gravity will bring the machine crashing to the ground, opening it up for easy damage. It fires volleys of rockets that you can dodge, roll through, or block using cover. You can also use lure grenades to redirect its missiles away from your squad if things get chaotic. The Rocketeer drops heavy gun parts, Rocketeer drivers, and other valuable resources. Just stay mobile, hit the thrusters, and the fight becomes surprisingly manageable. The Snitch is not dangerous by itself, but it will absolutely ruin your day by calling in reinforcements if it spots you. Staying hidden or behind cover prevents it from marking your location. If it does notice you, shooting its thrusters immediately will stop it from completing its scan. It drops ARC synthetic resin, sensors, and other scouting materials. Think of the Snitch as a priority target in every fight. If you take it out early, the entire encounter becomes easier. Letting it live is basically asking for a second wave of enemies. Ticks are small parasite machines that scamper around waiting to latch onto you. They die from almost anything, but the danger is in letting them get too close. Shooting them early or simply backing away from the sound cues keeps them harmless. They have no armor, so even one accurate shot is enough. Their drops are minimal, but they can be overwhelming in large numbers. Staying alert and dealing with them before they climb onto you is the whole fight. Once you know their audio cues, you will never let a tick surprise you again. Wasps are light flying drones that pepper you with small caliber gunfire. Their thrusters are exposed, and destroying them sends the drone falling to the ground, killing it instantly. Staying in cover is important, because their fire can chip away your health fast. If you ignore them, they drop light ammunition, ARC alloy, and wasp drivers. They are not particularly dangerous, but they become a real problem if several appear while you are fighting larger ARC enemies. Take them out quickly to keep your focus on the more important threats. The Matriarch is a towering ARC boss that makes the Queen look tame in comparison. She launches rockets, gas mortars, and massive area denial attacks that punish anyone standing still. The key to this fight is waiting for her energy shield to drop. Only then can you deal meaningful damage. Staying behind cover and fighting at long range helps a lot here. Her drops include some of the rarest crafting materials in the game, plus the Matriarch reactor. She also summons other Archie machines, so thinning those out before re-engaging is crucial. This fight is long, chaotic, and demanding, but once you learn the rhythm of her shield phases, she becomes manageable. The Shredder only appears in Stella Montis, and it is a nightmare in tight spaces. It fires 4 pellet bursts that can delete you instantly if you are not moving. Strafing sideways or using corners for cover is the best way to avoid its shots. It is much easier to handle when you force it into open areas where its spread becomes less accurate. This enemy drops the ARC gyroscope and shotgun ammunition, making it useful for players who favor close-range builds. The trick is keeping your distance, circling around, and attacking from behind or the sides. If you get caught face-to-face in a narrow hallway, the Shredder will end the fight quickly. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.